careful here not to just put it up for grabs. A turnover here will kill the Eagles.
And a sack in the end zone is not outside the realm of thought. Here comes Smith. There's Cunningham. Dodges left and puts it way downfield for Fred Barnett, who has the catch. And the race is on. There are no flags. A 95-yard touchdown.
Well, Vern, this type of play just defies description. Cunningham knows he's in trouble in the pocket. He knew that Bruce Smith was coming, and he just makes a play that only he can make. Boy, all the air's gone out of this stadium. And you know, they don't have a replay board here for these 80,000 folks.
Kelly hit by Reggie White as he lets it go, incomplete.
That is now into the second half at Soldier Field in Chicago, and the Bears lead the Detroit Lions by a score of 14-10. And as it usually is along the lakefront in Chicago, it's pretty windy. And watch Rodney Peete go to work.
Yeah, but he's got the wind at his back. Peete looking right, freezes the safety. Safety doesn't get over to help out the corner. Clark gets by, makes the reception, setting up the touchdown.
Meanwhile, Mike Ditka not real pleased by that, but he is pleased when he sees Brad Muster make a 6-yard dash to the end zone. And this game was tied at 7. Then an Eddie Murray field goal had the Lions on top. And watch Jim Harbaugh dive for the end zone.
Notice he will fumble the football, but folks, as long as the ball is in his hands, and there you see the ball break the plane, now you can throw it or hand it to him. That's a touchdown for the Bears.
So the Bears lead it by a score of 14-10. They are underway in the third quarter now. The game you are watching, the Buffalo Bills lead, which was a big one, is now down to 24 to doublehead. Friends are in the stands looking on, and Mark Rippon from 6 yards out to Art Monk.
You know, you need to give me a chance to respond when you do that.
That's right.
But nice try by Monk. Anyway, a nice high grab.
Dan Marino had problems with the Redskin defense today. Watch Fred Stokes.
One of the problems the Redskins had, they were really concerned about putting pressure on the quarterback, but today another good job by the Redskin defense.
And Ernest Biner ran the ball well, as we said. 157 yards rushing, including that 13-yard run for a touchdown, and the Washington Redskins still very much alive for a wild card berth, 42-20 over the Miami Dolphins today. At Three Rivers Stadium, win number 200, and he wasn't going to get it today. Boomer Esiason with lots of time to throw.
Lots of time, and one of the things Boomer's so good at is that deep play-action fake. Normally throws a deep post, this time down to the left sideline. There's the catch. There's the touchdown by Eddie Brown.
50 yards, and the Bengals were up by a score of 7-3, and then Bubby Brister chased down by Tim Crumry in the end zone for a safety. This one made it 9-6 Bengals. And then James Brooks from 6 yards out put the lid on it.
Very few small backs have the ability to run between the tackles. Brooks does and will and likes to do it.
Now, I mentioned this earlier. It is tough to figure out this Cincinnati Bengal team.
Can't figure out the Bengals at all, but they better get themselves figured out because they have the 49ers next week. But the team I can't figure out is the Steelers. They're my dynasty team of the 90s, and they should win games at home against divisional teams like the Cincinnati Bengals, but they didn't.
Some dynasties just get off to a slower start than others. That's all. 16-12, Bengals a winner over the Steelers today. At New England, the Patriots slide continues. The Chiefs over New England by a score of 37-7. Another big day for Steve DeBerg. 15 of 21, 330 yards and 2 touchdowns, and the Chiefs take a half-game lead in the AFC West with the 30-point win over the Patriots. Atlanta at Tampa Bay. The Bucs defeat the Atlanta Falcons 23-17. 17 straight loss on the road for the Falcons, who lose quarterback Chris Miller with a fractured collarbone. He was tackled, fell on his right shoulder. It is fractured, and he is out for some time now. The Bucs win it by a score of 23-17. Both these teams still alive for a possible wild card position. And the Rams at Cleveland. The Rams beating Cleveland by a score of 38-23. Watch Jim Everett to Henry Ellard for 13-yard gain to the 1-yard line. Ellard's 401st career reception, and that makes him the Rams' all-time leader. And Bernie Kosar sacked by Kevin Green for a 5-yard loss. Green was in on Kosar 4 times. Art Modell thought he'd beat the traffic.
See you later.
See you around the ball yard.
I've had enough of this.
Jim Everett, 21 yards to Robert Del Pino out of the backfield.
Nice job. The one thing the Rams do, Ernie Zampese, offensive coordinator, will get everyone involved in the passing game. That time Del Pino out of the backfield. Beautiful job by Everett today.
Rams over the Niners last week, over the Browns this week, and the NFL.
At this play, the play of the year.
Bruce Smith doesn't sack Randall Cunningham. Running the wrong way in his own end zone. Across his body. 60 yards. Are you kidding? It's Fred Barnett. He could go all the way. 95 yards. Randall's 100th career touchdown pass in the NFL. But on this play, earlier in the game, Jim Kelly threw his C-note to the venerable James Lofton, like Isaac Curtis, Wesley Walker, Cliff Branch. He's still fast. Fast win for Buffalo, 30-23. While the Bills won in the AFC East, the Dolphins had their hands full with Ernest Biner and the Redskins. 32 carries, 157 yards, 3 touchdowns, including this 8-yarder. The Redskins pound the pound machine, 42-20. They met 2 weeks ago. There's Fred Edelstein at the game. Bengals and the Steelers. And the Bengal fans saw Gary Anderson at a field goal. Second fastest man at 200 field goals, only Stenner better. But James Brooks, 81 yards, and the Bengals beat the Steelers for the second time in 3 weeks, 16-12. The Bengals are in first place in the Central. That's because Warren Moon and the Oilers in overtime at Seattle. Moon to Bernard Ford. Fumble! Dave Wyman recovers it for Seattle. And for the third time in the last 4 weeks, Seattle wins on the final play of the game. Norm Johnson, good! 13-10 the Seahawks. Chiefs and the Patriots, who should have bagged the season a long time ago. They bagged the scam in the first play of scrimmage. Steve DeBerg to Stephon Page. The only one in focus was Page. Why? Get the pole out of the way, too. Kansas City beat New England 37-7. Trying to stay pace with the Chiefs were the Raiders. Very cold Denver. Bo, bing, bang, boom. He's gone. Bo knows. Fantastic touchdowns. 62 yards. The Raiders win at Denver 23-20 to sweep the Broncos. Bobby Beathard trying to focus in. You don't need binoculars to focus in on Marion Watts. 159 yards and a pair of touchdowns for the Chargers against the Jets. Billy Joe Tolliver. Gunn 1 and 8 Lewis. Chargers roll 38-17. Colts at the Cards. Dexter Manley checking out the Phoenix defense. Came up with a big play. Colts led early. Jeff George picked off by Cedric Mack. Watch Mack. Run left. Then thinking about the end zone. Whoa! He laterals into Marcus Turner. He scampers him with the game-winning score. The Cards deck Indianapolis 20-17. Steve Walsh back at Dallas as a member of the New Orleans Saints. He says, why not let Ironhead block? Why not let Ruben Mays carry it? 15 yards. Saints lead 10-0 at the half. Second half, Troy Aikman completed 11 straight passes. This one for the touchdown to Darrell Johnson. 17-13, the Cowboys. Art Modell can't bear to watch the Browns this year. Couldn't bear to watch the Rams on 4th and goal. And Jim Everett. Play fakes, Pete Holohan, touchdown Everett, 4 TDs, Rams, shake, rattle, and roll, 38-23. What time is it? What time is it? Well, if it's Atlanta on the road, it's time for the Falcons to lose. They were leading Tampa Bay, but Vinny hits Mark Carrier. 35 yards, 23-17, Tampa Bay win. The Falcons have lost 17 straight. Beautiful day in Chicago. And it was a great overtime game between the Lions and the Bears. Jim Harbaugh, tied at 17. A little more than 4 minutes to go in the OT. It's Neil Anderson, 50 yards, touchdown. The Bears win, 23-17, and it's win.
There's absolutely no reason for Rich Gannon to throw that football. The quarterback, Mark Lee, was no way fooled at all. But when you get a hot hand, and we saw it, he did the same thing last week against the Bears. He puts the ball in the general vicinity of Anthony Carter, and it's a touchdown.
Well, what a play by Carter.
Ball goes right back to Herschel. Now Gannon just fires this thing up. This is just having confidence in somebody. Mark Lee is going to make a play on it right here, but Carter, the ball never hits the ground. It hits his hand. What a sensational catch.
That's a touchdown, folks.
And the team, the extra point team is standing on the field watching the replay, and they all applauded. What a catch.
Tough situation for the Packers here, 3rd and 19. Pressure again, knocked it away. Noga in the end zone. What's the call? Touchdown.
What do you think he's going to say about that one? Unbelievable, probably.
Al Noga
on the sidelines explaining to the guys And that's how he did it.
Green Bay in a huge hole now. They start from their own 22. They're down 3 scores. Dillwig sidearms one intended for Ed West, his tight end. Not a fun night to be a quarterback, is it, Joe?
Not if you're a Green Bay.
John Dillwig, the interceptions are the biggest. He has missed on his last 7 passes. Nice bootleg action. Now under pressure. Goldman's got it. Goldman with a sack at the 15, the 5th sack of the night. And
going. For instance, second play from scrimmage, Jim Kelly finds James Lofton, and Lofton simply outruns the Eagles' speedy defense, and all before the fans were even in their seats. The Bills led it 7-zip. That, by the way, Kelly's 100th career touchdown. Then with it 10-0 Bills, Kelly goes to work again, this time to Andre Reed. Reed finds his way for 56 yards. 7-0 Buffalo. Bills would lead at 24-zip.
Niners last week, but then again, they were facing the Browns in Cleveland, and the Browns have lost a club record 5 straight at home and 6 straight overall. Last week, Jim Schaffner said he thought his Browns wouldn't lose another game all year. Right. Browns showed signs of a 2-9 team. Brian Brennan muffs the punt. It's recovered by Pat Terrell, and the Rams get it again. But John Robinson's team at 4-7 hasn't exactly been so great either. 3 plays later, after Brennan's muff, Cleveland Gary fumbles, the 9th time he's done that this year, and the Browns' David Grayson recovers. In the second quarter, Rams at the Browns' 2-yard line. Gary is stopped short of the goal line by Mike Johnson. Rams only 2 of 9 on 4th down conversions, but 4th and goal, they go for it. Jim Everett, the play-action fake hits Pete Holohan in the end zone. Rams take a 10-3 lead on the Rams' next possession. Everett again finds Gaston Green. He sprints down the right sideline, 16 yards for the score. It's 17-3 Rams. More the same in the second half. Everett hits Henry Ellert over the middle for Ellert's 400th career reception, TJ.
Here, Henry Ellert cuts inside of Raymond Claiborne, makes a good break toward the ball. Knows how to get that head down right after he makes that catch. And Claiborne had a pull groin. We should say that here Ellert makes a catch to become the Rams' all-time leading receiver. He's an outstanding receiver for a long time.
Surpassing Tom Fears. More the same for the Rams. Everett finds Robert Del Pino for a 21-yard scoring play, and then Everett again to Buford McGee. A 9-yard scoring play, 38-17 Rams. They scored on their first 3 second-half possessions. Everett, 22 of 29 for 261 yards, 4 touchdown passes. He hadn't tossed a touchdown pass in his last 3 games. So bad that Browns owner Art Modell couldn't bear to watch as the Rams pull out the victory, 38-23.